YouTube. Once again, guys, thank you for your support. This is Prometheus, the only YouTuber that actually shows you a lot of non-meta plays, and I'll show you full gameplays of me actually using the tips and schemes that I like to post on my channel. So guys, I want to actually go back and show you some of the top plays of schemes I built out of the Panthers playbook. Now, I know a lot of people like to use this particular formation out of the Panthers playbook, which is the gun bunch offset. In particular, is this double post plays is really a good money play. The flood play, which is very popular, mesh post, smash return. So those are a lot of the pro player plays that a lot of the pros like to use. So that's why this Panthers playbook is one of the more popular playbooks getting used online. But what I want to show you are some other formations that I liked, that I had pretty good success with using in schemes and beating opponents and regs. So if you guys want to take a look at this, would be great. I have full schemes in each one of the formations, so you just don't have one play; you have several plays to work with. So single back was one of the formations I broke down. I broke down a formation of the pistol and then a couple in the gun. Let's go to the single back, and the first formation that we actually did was the wing stack. There's a lot of great plays. This double corners play is phenomenal against someone who runs a lot of cover two. You've got the halfback belly weak was really good. A good quick snap play is a curl post drag. That's a very good quick snap play that you can use against your opponent. But the play that I found that I had the most success with on money downs was a spot stick, and I'll show you a couple ways to set it up. But it's a really good play to have in your arsenal. I'm just going to go against random defenses, but I like to run this play a couple different ways. I'll either streak up the slot receiver and just do a sail concept off to the left and try to look for my opponent over the top, or just check it down underneath with a little wheel route right there. But there's another way that I actually set this up, and it was basically trying to build off of a running game. So what I will do is that I would actually try to build off my running game by taking this tight end and sliding him over, just give myself an extra blocker so I could kick the ball to the outside a little bit better. But there's a great way to set this up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that outside tight end and I'm going to slide him over. And what that's going to do is it's going to overwhelm the zones on the left side of the screen. Player that I typically will get separation right away is going to be this route right here by Moore. That's going to give me a lot of separation immediately because there's going to be too many people in the zone to actually go ahead and cover that. So let's just motion this guy over. And that's going to be one of my first places I'm going to look to. Also, I might not get anybody over the top, so I can actually go ahead and complete that for a big completion. That's a little bit more of a riskier play, but that's something that you can do if you keep baiting your opponent. And you could technically go ahead and just basically leave the tight end as is. Maybe do a block and release, and then use a sail concept off to the left. And that actually will give you an opportunity to go and hit the little sail concept off to the left. So that's just conceptually something I like to do, but I like to really build that off of a run game, in particular this halfback belly weak. And I found if you flip the play, a lot of times you'll actually get like a double team on the inside. And sometimes, obviously, if you get someone that really has an aggressive area, like front like that, you can get some big running out of it. And conversely, you can go ahead and just leave it off to where the ball is supposed to go, motion your guy over, and that's going to basically give you an opportunity to kick things out. So that's what I love about this particular formation and that pass play and this running play. Now, another formation I built basically a scheme out of is going to be the single back doubles, which is a single back dice. And there's a couple plays that I like to use in this scheme. First and foremost, you got your standard 0-1 trap. So that's usually be the base play. I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to show you a couple other plays that I like to throw in the scheme, which is Sluggo seam. And the other play is actually the Z post Y out. So this is really what I did with the Sluggo seam. I'm actually going to streak up my tight end, and then I'm going to slant up my inside slot receiver, and I'm going to go ahead and take that slot receiver and motion him off. And I'm really going to look high-low with basically the slot receiver, and then also with the tight end route. But the slot receiver generally will get in a sweet part of the zone if he's using a lot of man or zone coverage. Now, just like the previous play, this is going to overwhelm the zones on the right side of the field, so you have basically 4 routes, and that causes some matchup issues. And a lot of times what's going to happen is you're going to be able to go ahead and hit over the middle with the tight end. So I'm going to motion this guy over. Sometimes you can hit him on a single coverage on the double move. That's just an old school Madden thing that you know is that double moves are really good against man coverage. So hopefully on this play we're going to get some zone coverages and be able to pop the tight end over the middle. And we don't, so you can always just do the little hitch on the backside. So my guess is this is a cover 4. And this is where you can actually go ahead and get that completion right over the middle with the tight end. So if he comes down and takes away the slant, you can hit him with this route. So this is one of my more favorite plays. I like to incorporate it with that 0-1 trap. And it's something that your opponent really has to take in consideration. So that's what I do love about it. But that slant underneath is really deadly. That's why you want to have probably your best wide receiver, fastest, catching traffic wide receiver there. Now in the single back doubles, I also include this regular play, which is the Z post Y out. And once again, I've got some stuff that takes things off the top. So I've got like a cover 4 beater and a deep crosser on the back side. But I still want to work the inside and just force my opponent to actually defend it. So let me show you the setup on this. So I'm going against random defenses. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the running back and actually go ahead and put him on a streak. And what happens is he's always going to go on the left side, the weak side of the formation, meaning that's where the tackle's at. There's not on the tight end side. And it doesn't really matter in which area of the hash market you're at. That running back is always going to go off to the weak side of the formation. Now, once again, I'm going to show my opponent the same type of look, but I'm really going to make a couple different reads. If the zone's float up, I'm going to check it down to this little running back route and take that, because your opponent is going to be chasing that wide receiver on the backside. So it's going to be my first read. If it is man coverage, this whip route will actually get really good separation against a man coverage, and it's going to be able to catch your opponent in the middle. Now, if your opponent's being super aggressive, you can always go ahead and block all. He's blitzing, bringing a lot of people in the box to stop the run. And that's going to actually open up these other options too. The deep post is really difficult to hit, especially when you have a porous line like this line. But it is an option that you can actually look to. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it, so I'm just going to focus on my hot reads. And this is always going to get really good separation with a dig. If someone doesn't fall back in the zone, you always get a good completion. Now another formation that I broke down is this pistol ace Y off. There's a lot of great plays and got some really glitchy routes. The running is actually really good in this formation. It seems like the blocking is a little bit better than most formations, but the play that was a go-to play that I went to when I was playing online was Z spot. And this is basically how I ran it. I would motion this guy over, and it actually gives me unique options as far as routes. So when I actually select this route, I can do a slant or a zig route and stuff like that. So this actually makes things a little bit more interesting. So you got that motion slant that you can hit, so the slant actually gives you a little bit more depth. Another option is you can streak up your tight end, and that's going to provide you basically 4 wide receivers off to the right. And this little hitch route, you can lowball that to get an easy completion. However, I like having basically a drag or a slant going to the backside with this, just because I want to basically force my opponent to go ahead and defend that. And this corner route actually gets really unique depth, so even if you can come down with it, that's a good route to actually have in this game. So that's what I do like about it. So if you want to go ahead and work a mesh concept with a drag and a deep dig, you can always do the drag underneath, and that actually should give you just a better passing lane, because the defenders actually have to come down with it. But this is the passing play that I like to use, because I've got a deep corner on the backside. I've got that little hitch route, that slant hitch that I can hit, and a lot of times what happens is that the coverage has to play the flat route by the running back, and you could pop that for easy completion. So in the gun formation, doubles Y off was one of the formations I broke down initially. And in particular, the play that I really liked a lot was a red zone scissors. This play was good because it had a cover 2 beater. The running back route actually would get into really kind of a weird zone area. And then I have a underneath in route that is easy. So this is a quick snap play. I'm going to run this against random nickels. And basically what I do is I just go ahead and so all I really do with this good play is I streak up Thomas, which is my, my tight end. And a lot of times he doesn't get covered in that coverage. And if the defender does follow him, then I can actually hit this this weird angle route, outside angle route by the running back. So you'll see a lot of times you can hit the tight end right over the middle for a big completion, and I can't count how many times I've actually been able to hit that. And once again, you got Samuels over the middle, So you can actually hit that in the backside, so that will keep your opponent honest. So if he doesn't chase the tight end, you've got the in route on the backside of it. So this is a good play that I love to use. If you want to make kind of an adjustment, you can always go ahead and streak up that slot receiver, especially if your slot receiver's got 95 speed. You can get those one-play touchdowns. But the better setup is to do this. Basically, it's a deep comeback route, a streak, and then you have a drag underneath it. And that basically gives you kind of a high-low, and it makes this deep comeback route a little bit more efficient for you. So this is just a conceptual thing that I'll run against if I see a cover 3 and I want to attack my opponent on the opposite side where that's at. I'll check down to the tight end route, especially if there's nobody in the area, but that gives me a one-play touchdown opportunity over the top with a streak, and I've got a deep comeback route that essentially cannot get covered against a lot of these coverages out there. So you can see right here the deep comeback route, easy completion, you can pick up a good 20 yards. Now this is one of the last formations I broke down in my mini scheme. It's the gun Y off trio weak. Got a lot of great plays. You get the play action post dig shot, which is a common play that people have been using a lot. Also, you got the sticking up, which has got some really cool route combinations. And then outs. I love this play. This is a play that's been really good in Madden for years now, and I love it because it gives you easy. You can set it up in either side of the field, either left side or right side. But the play that I stumbled on that I found that I really fall in love with is the 4 verticals. So what makes this particular play unique is that if you motion this guy over, you slide him over, he doesn't go across the formation, he stays on top of the tight end, and actually he will go into the middle of the seam where you can get a big completion. Now to complement this, I want to have an easy progression, so I'll take the backside receiver more on the left side of the screen. I'm going to put him in a slant. Now my first read is going to be this wide receiver right over the middle, and against cover 2 with someone that's got 95 speed, 9 out of 10 times he's going to beat the coverage and actually get over the top of it. So unless your opponent deliberately puts some type of deep zone out there in a cover 2 shell, that's going to be a one-play touchdown. Now, what I also do is I have this slant on the backside, so if it is man coverage, that slant's usually going to get separation, and it's going to go into the area where the zones are cleared out. So what I love about this particular play is that it's just very easy to make reads. Yeah, if you go to the well too much with this particular play, your opponent will start picking up tendencies and he'll flood the right side of the field and all that kind of stuff. But it does, it makes it very simple. And then you've got this little check down with the running back, which the running back kind of got stuck up in with the blitzing. But I wanted to show that to you. That'll be available to you next. So you can see right here, I just pass lead to the outside against cover 3. The defender pulls himself out of position, and I just get a big completion. So very simple, very, very simple play to run. It's a quick snap play if one ever is. You could just motion this guy over. By the time he's setting up his defense, you're snapping the ball, and you're giving yourself an opportunity for a big completion down the field. So I love this particular play. Now to the gun bunch open offset. This is a good formation to use in conjunction with the RPO bubble screen. You got that bunch receivers that are outside the hashes, and your opponent has to adjust to it. But the play I really love the most out of this formation, I've been using it for years, is the fake screen wheel. And really, this is what I do. I don't leave the screen here. I actually do a drag route because that gives me a check down. And if I can cancel out the animation, I will. Now, but while the action really is going to be more Samuels and then Anderson, I really don't look to that weird route by the tight end Thomas, that red route. Look to the 3 routes. The first route I'm going to look to is this route. This route right here, which is this fast corner route. It gets really good separation against man-to-man coverage. It has for years, and unless there's any kind of a defender floating up into that passing lane, a lot of times I'm going to be able to get a completion and get an easy yardage. So right there, had to wait for that to actually come across the formation. So if you've got a double A gap, you probably want to think about checkdowns right away. But you've got the dragger on the backside. There's no way he can use both of these areas if he's using a lot of aggressive man blitz. That's what I love about it. And the 2 wide receivers, Samuels and Thomas, clears out. I usually like to try to control and get rid of the animation, so I'm going to go ahead and block my running back. But it's all about this route right here. I've gotten one-play touchdowns with this route in this particular formation. So I like to block my running back, and then I've got the drag route underneath as my check down. But look at the route by Samuels. He gets in kind of a glitchy area of the zones. So I like to throw it early, and a lot of times he's going to get a fast read where you can throw that to get a completion. So that's what I love about this particular place. Out of this open gun bunch formation, this is one of my favorite passing plays to use, just because I've had a lot of success with it. And you've got basically just a drag or a check down. So if he plays over the top, you can check down to that and get easy yards. Now gun trips is a great formation. Once again, you've got 4 wide receivers on the left-hand side. If you do a scheme in conjunction with the RPO bubble read, that could be very annoying. But one of the plays I really like a lot is the slot corner, in particular against any kind of cover 2 zones. And the reason why is that slot receiver is a quick snap play. He doesn't get covered. So you're going to basically get a one-play touchdown against your opponent if he actually goes ahead and jumps into this formation in cover 2. So you can quickly adjust into it and just destroy your opponent over the top. So if you got a guy that runs cover 2 coverage, jump into this formation, jump into this play, hit him for a one-play touchdown. He'll jump out of cover 2 in a heartbeat. Now, a better play to run, which provides you more progressions, would be the middle slant. And I'm going to run this against random nickels. But basically what you do is you take the running back and you put him on a wheel route, and you actually can put your wide receiver on the right side, which is going to be Anderson, in a smoke route or an out route. Now, if you put him on an out route and you hot route that hot route, that's going to give you basically a man read progression or a cover 4 progression. And it's going to force your opponent to go and defend that. But if the defender actually comes down and plays it, you've got the wheel underneath that you can hit against your opponent. And now you've also got a levels concept on the back side with basically with a drag by Samuels and also this little post route on the back side. So you can go to the well with this particular play. This is the kind of play that your opponent is going to have to do kind of a custom scheme to go and shut that down if he doesn't have like really good man press players. But it's a really good play to throw to have in your scheme. And if you do this in conjunction with the other play, which was the slot play, he's gonna have a hard time stopping you. So guys, that was roughly about 7 or 8 plays that I like to run that are non-meta plays. These are basically good plays to throw into your scheme. I've used these successfully online, and not with the Packers. I use lower tier teams, and I win a lot of games with these bigger plays. And I'm not even using that bunch formation. I rarely use the bunch offset formation, which has got a lot of great plays in it. You can go up and down your field, so you can hit your opponent with all these other different formations out of the gun formation, the pistol, the single back, and then when you need a drive, you can jump into your gun bunch offset to basically go ahead and just if you need a drive to score, to finish a game out, you can use this formation on money downs and all that kind of stuff, but you can complement your rest of your scheme with these other formations. So once again, to my subscribers, thank you for your support, guys. If you like these type of tips and you're new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, also that like button. Let me know this is the type of stuff that you guys want to see. And if you're new to my channel and you like this breakdown, hit the subscribe button, because I try to roll out these on a regular basis. But I also show you some money plays that I see and some defensive strategies. And you can see me play out live online on how I actually play my games and the type of adjustments I do. So I try to show you exactly what I do to help you guys win more games. So thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.